Hello guys, this is Vikas here again, and today we are uh, going to extend the complexity of the problems that we were looking in the last tutorial of absolute value of integers of numbers. Sorry. So today what we are going to do is to deal with some inequalities if they are paired with the absolute values. In a way, we are going to solve problems like if we have problems like this or this. So these are the problems that we are going to see how do we solve that using our concept of distance from the zero and the number line. So okay, we'll see how we are going to solve problems like this. Okay, so suppose first we'll take this part less than. So suppose we have this problem x minus 4 and its absolute value is less than 2. So how are we going to solve? We have to tell what are the numbers for whom, what are the possible values of x for which this expression is true. Okay, so how are we going to see this? So for the time being, whenever there is a problem of absolute value, just forget what is inside these parallel lines. Okay, so we don't know. Actually, what we have to do is to tell what are the numbers whose absolute value is less than 2. So what is an absolute value? We have seen this is the distance from 0 on the number line. So let's visit our number line again. This goes towards positive infinity and this goes towards negative infinity. Okay, so what are the numbers whose absolute value are less than 2? Okay, actually we are treating it like a number. We are not going to worry about x minus 4. We'll take it as a single number. Okay, so in the absolute value, what is the interval? What are the values for whom the distance from 0 is less than 2? So we can see this is actually this part. Anything in between this part will be at a distance lesser than 2. Okay, well, we have to be a bit careful here because for 2 and minus 2 the distance will be exactly equal to 2. So if we are going to take this interval, so we'll have to exclude 2 and minus 2. Okay, so now we know the number that we are dealing with, that should be in this interval from minus 2 to plus 2. So this number should be somewhere between this interval. Well, okay, so whenever we write any expression like this, whenever write it like, okay, a is greater than 2, it means it will take all the numbers that are greater than 2. I mean 2, 3, 2 point something, 3, 4, 5, 6, anything, any number. It shouldn't be just integers, it could be 3.5, 4.5, anything. If you write anything like a is less than minus 1, it means it will take all the numbers that are less than minus 1, like minus 1.5, minus 2, minus 2.3, minus 10,000, minus 11,000, anything it will take. And there is another expression that could be sometimes a little confusing, which is if a number is written like this. Whenever we write any expression like this, it means it is denoting all the numbers that are between minus 1 and 1. Okay, so here we have seen our interval. We are going to consider all the numbers which are between minus 2 and 2, because only those numbers are at a distance less than 2 from 0. You know, we start from 0 and say, okay, I'm not going to move beyond the distance of 2. We stop here. Then we start from 0 and move into the negative direction and say, okay, I'm not going to be further than 2 from 0, and we move, and then we start moving. Okay, this. Okay, this is 2. I'm not going to move beyond this. So in a way, what are the intervals that we have covered? Minus 2 to 2. Okay, so to write that any number is between this interval, we will denote it like this notation. Okay, so I think we are clear here. So now we have found, so x minus 4 should be between minus 2 and 2. So how will we solve this problem? To solve this problem, we have to get the value of x. So how will we get the value of x here? If we add 4 in this expression, then it will be x. Okay, but okay, if x minus 4 is less than 2, then x should be less than what? We know it's by simple inequality. We can write it here separate. We have one part, x minus 4 is less than 2, then we can write it, okay, x is less than 6. Okay, we can write it here, okay, x is less than 6. Then the other part we can say here, x minus 4 is greater than minus 2. So x should be greater than what? 4 will go to that side, and it will be 4 minus 2. And this will be 2. Okay, I think we know how to solve these kind of questions. So if x is greater than 2, how will we write that? We'll write that here. So x could be any number between 2 and 6. In our examination, in our GMAT examination, we can get a question like, okay, we have this expression, so in the options it could be given 5 numbers, and they will be asking for which number this expression is true, and we can have like 1, 0, 11, 3, 19. So we can see x is going to be lie between 2 and 6. And of all the options that we will have in the question, only 3 lies in this interval, I mean between 2 and 6. Okay, so we can solve this problem like this. So I hope you guys are clear. And anyway, if you are never clear, if you are not clear, then you can always ask me. I will always be here. So now we are going to see the second type of question that we were talking about. This time it will be about greater than. So suppose somebody asks you, okay, solve this problem if x minus 1 is greater than 2. Okay, so again, if we talk in terms of our number line and distance, then we are actually asking about all those numbers. Okay, we are going to take this as a number, x minus 1. For the time being, we are forgetting that this is x minus 1. We are taking it as just a single number. Okay, so for the time being, we are asking, there is a number whose absolute value should be greater than 2. It means there is a number whose distance from 0 is greater than 2. Okay, so could you tell me all the numbers whose distance from 0 is greater than 2? Well, it is very simple. If you go on number line and here is 0, all the numbers whose distance from 0 is greater than 2, it means these numbers should lie either here or lie here. Okay, so obviously the numbers should be either greater than 2 or the numbers should be less than minus 2, because all the numbers that will lie here will be greater than 2, and all the numbers that will lie here will be less than minus 2. It will be minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. It will be 3, 4, 5, 5.5, 5.6, 5.7, those numbers. Okay, so we have only two possibilities here. Either x minus 1 will be greater than 2, or x minus 1 will be less than minus 2. Okay, so this will say x is greater than 3, and this will say x is less than minus 1. Okay, so actually here we can see this is two intervals. One is greater than 3 numbers, and another is less than minus 1 numbers. And we won't be write it like the way we wrote it in the previous question, like this, because this is for a single interval when we have, suppose, interval like 1, 2, 3. But here we have two intervals. One lies somewhere here and one lies somewhere here. But anyway, we have solved our question. So this is the way we will solve the absolute value related question. But mind you, these are the questions that you will be asked in the GMAT when you will be asked difficult questions. Normally we will be getting questions like this kind of questions that you will be asked. if you keep doing the right questions, then you will get questions like this. And with a little practice, you will be able to understand how to solve these questions more quickly. But if you are a starter here in the absolute value, then you can take a little extra time and you can make your concept on the number line, okay, the intervals, and writing things like this, greater than, less than, and doing all the calculations. But it will be easy after 1 or 2 questions. And if we want to make it a little more complex, then we can put equal to sign. So if we put equal to sign, so it means what are the numbers whose distance from 0 is greater than or equal to 2. So what we have done so far, we have always excluded the number on the limit. So here we will include 2 also. So we are not going to ignore this person for very long. We will say, okay, now we have equal to sign, so you are also included in our group. Okay, we won't ignore you anymore. Of course, we have some equal sign, and we are not going to tell him that we are told to include you. Okay, so again we will hear equal to sign, we will hear equal to sign, we will hear equal to sign, we will hear equal to sign. Okay, so we'll be always including the border number. Okay, so that's all that you can expect from questions related to absolute number. I hope things are a bit more clear to you. But you can, anyway, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. I'll always be there, and please give me your suggestions, your comments related to these tutorials. I'll be looking forward to them. Okay, thanks guys, bye.